I'm Ming, I'm the Group CFO of Investa Property Group, and we have a business that is in the office and land development business. We have an amazing team of people that care a lot about what they do and understand what goals we're trying to achieve strategically. I mean, most of the time what I do is I'm actually supporting them to achieve those goals and listening to them about the things that they want to do to change within the organisation to get to those goals. Having ASX reporting on female participation of the boards has been really helpful, I think, in terms of raising the awareness of the glass ceiling for women within the industry. Within Investa, though, I'm very happy to say that, if you have a look at ASX 200 in terms of percentage of women on those boards, the average is around about 12.3%. Within Investa, in terms of our board, we have a 40% participation. Also within the ASX 200, there are 6 female chairmen of boards, of which we have one of them. So I think within Investa, we'd like to think that we're trying to lead the charge in terms of changing how businesses actually view women and their contribution to organisational performance. I think in terms of leadership for finance people, it's great listening. I would say listening first before communication skills. That's just something that I think every finance person, very, very good at talking about what we do, but listening and learning from other people is probably not a feature that comes out very often. I also think that in terms of finance skills that you need to have, it needs to be quite broad. So I would not necessarily recommend someone actually just hone in and just become a specialist. To be a senior finance person, you need to cover a lot of ground. And the last attribute I would say is probably resilience. I mean, we've seen within the last 5 years how difficult economic conditions can get, and your performance needs to ride through all of those cycles. I think it'll depend on what your shareholders want. So, as long as your shareholders understand the risks and opportunities of structuring any particular transaction, you can actually be at the high leverage end or the more conservative end of the spectrum. So as long as they understand the risks and opportunities, I don't think things have changed so much. The tendency though at the moment is that people tend to go down to the more conservative end of the gearing range, if I can put it that way. My career, it's been a long and windy road. So I have worked for 3 organisations. I've been at each organisation for 5+ years. I think that's probably not very normal nowadays. I think the tendency is that people move around a lot. But what I have found when I've actually stayed with these organisations for a long period of time, the companies change. And when you're working at those organisations and you're putting up your hand to do things that you're not normally doing, you're learning a lot. And I would have said that at every company I've been at, every single year I've learnt something. If you're starting off, suggestion, go as broad as you can. Don't specialise. So you need to understand what your skills are, and when you're young, you haven't quite worked that out yet. So when you're coming out and you've just graduated, do everything. Volunteer for stuff that you would not normally volunteer for within the company that you're working at, and from that you'll actually work out what you're good at and what you're not good at, and then from there you can actually then go and specialise. But I think having that broad experience will give you the foundation to build whatever career you want to actually build.